All right, let's see. We are there. We go. Good evening, everyone. I hope everybody is doing well. I hope you guys are having a good day. Had a very busy day. I'm very tired out. I am not going to lie. I am very tired. I had a really good day, very productive. Uh, so, before we get into anything, I just want to remind everybody that this is a very family-friendly oriented channel. I would ask you all to please be decent in the chat. No racism, no nastiness, and just please be kind, and we will have a good stream, and we'll go from there. All right. If you can't abide by really easy rules, those awesome people lit up in blue with the wrenches are going to boot you out of here. So that's it. That's what we do. We have a good time, and anybody who wants to act like a jerk, they're out. So I got to show the shirt. I picked this up. It's got the wolves on there. Wolves always have. I think wolves are very cool. And so the shirt, I'm like, gotta have it. Walmart special. So yeah. So today we're gonna get into the topic here in just a minute. I'll tell you a little bit about. Steve helped me again today. We did a couple more loads of gravel, and I was like, it's we're making progress. That's the good news. We're making progress. But man, I'll tell you what, it has been a lot of very back-breaking work, and so yeah, it'll wear you out. We do like two loads, and after two loads, it's like okay, that's enough for today. And so after we did that, I had to do some running around today. I wanted to get more bags of the Quickcrete because what I've done, and I think I explained this already, and I'm going to do a video tomorrow and show it what progress we've made and what we have going on. But initially, I put 20 bags, 50-pound bags of Quickcrete in the ruts, okay, down in the upper meadow. Isn't that weird? Down in the upper meadow, but in the lower part of the upper meadow, I guess is the right terminology. Um, is what you've put down holding. Yes, so far, JJ, because I have been driving over it as we are adding more stone. And like I said, I'll show all that tomorrow. So we did 20 bags of 50-pound Quickcrete the first time, and I knew I needed more. So one of the stops I made tonight was Lowe's. I got to replace the 20 bags because we need that 20 bags for the uh, pavilion build. And so before everybody gets here, I said, "Oh, I'm gonna, so I'll get more." So I picked up 18 bags of Quickcrete tonight, and 12 of those 18 bags went into the ruts again. So I think that that's going to be enough to get us where we need to go now, and then we'll just continue to fill in as we're going. The other 6 bags I put aside, and so I obviously have to go back out and pick up 14 more bags. But when you're handling, 900 pounds of concrete or Quickcrete, that's after you've moved all that stone, But we're making progress. The last 2 days before today, the weather just sucked up here. We had rain the one day. The day before yesterday, we had snow, and it was cold and windy. Today was not bad. You didn't feel like you were breaking a sweat. You know what I mean? You were working. You could feel you were working, and you were obviously sweating, but it wasn't bad. And so we just worked on that and did that today and got that done. And then, just trying to take care of things. And, oh, we're going to address that young AR-15. He says, why is there a protest in New York anyway? Okay. What happened was, if you guys saw the video, and I don't know if the young man died or not, I didn't get that information, but 5 black cops, okay, which is relevant when it comes to this type of thing, beat a young black man. He is dead. Okay, he did die. Okay, yeah, so he did die, unfortunately. Uh, they were amped up over some kind of a traffic stop, and they beat this kid to death. Five black cops did. Uh, and so the video now has come out. showing the beating that they did on this kid, and just way overreach. And again, and I'm going to say this as I have said this before. All right, because of a few bad cops, it does not make all. Um, shouldn't matter the color, just the idea. Okay, Bubba one, we're gonna address that though. We're gonna address that though. So five bad cops does not mean the whole police um, force out there is corrupt and terrible and bad. Unfortunately, these things do happen. Why is the race of the police officers relevant? Well, if it had been five white cops that beat a black man down, the media would have had a field day with this one already, as we all know. We all know the game that is played. We highlight certain things, we show certain things. That's how it goes, and you guys know that as well as I do. So that's the only reason I brought that up. Now, injustice is injustice, regardless of what color the victim is or what color the officers are. I mean, that's just a fact, okay? Injustice is injustice. That doesn't, and it shouldn't have to make a difference, but it does, unfortunately, in our country um, when it comes to the media. I mean, and that is just a fact. We all know that. That's not, unfortunate. But the thing is, when five cops beat a guy to death, that's an issue, regardless of who is what and all that type of thing. And so now they're talking. Angry Prepper had did a quick short, talking about that the cop they're going to be rioting, they're going to be targeting the police officers, police departments and stuff like that. Listen, I know somebody obviously very closely who was a police officer. He's a good dude. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to get on here and vilify all cops. Now, personal experience, you guys know, I have dealt with some tool bags. I have, but I've also dealt with some very decent cops. So it just Nick says, I don't support anyone who pushes unconstitutional laws, and that's what cops do. Well, a lot of cops are absolutely on an ego trip. There's no doubt about that whatsoever. But again, not all cops are bad. So I'm not going to vilify the entire group of them because some of them are bad. I'm not going to do that. I'm never going to do that. Now, should the five cops be prosecuted, be put in prison for what they did? Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. Because, like I said, now the video has come out, very disturbing video of what happened to this young man. Should never happen to anybody. It should not, that shouldn't, nobody should have to fear, nobody should have to fear getting pulled over and being beaten to death by police officers. That should not be something. Now, like I said, I don't know the circumstances of everything that happened in that situation, what led up to the stop and stuff like that. But cops need to have better control, as we all know, especially because they're under such a microscope now with everything that has gone on. You know, but you got to know your rights when you get stopped by the cops. Absolutely. And I'm going to tell you what, like I said, the last situation that I dealt with dealing with the police really soured me. I'm not going to lie. It really, really soured me because it was a complete, utter, and total waste of time. Should have never happened. All the charges were dismissed through the grand jury. So, they wasted resources over something absolutely ridiculous that never should have happened in the first place, in my situation. Okay. Um, I'm not some kind of career criminal scumbag that's, running around breaking law after law after law. So, but now, if you look up in the internet and you look up my name, you'll see my mugshot first thing from when they process me. So it's just, but I don't care. I really don't because I learned another valuable lesson because of that situation. You tell them nothing. You use your Fourth Amendment. You say nothing to them, nothing. You don't try, well, and the worst part was I was 100% in the right, 100% in the right, and they jammed me up. So, you can't. You just can't. You got to tell them something. All seen cat. Yep. Mugshot. Seen it. Yep. It's a pretty picture, actually. I told him I was going to smile in that picture. No, you can't smile in the picture. I go, why not? I said, this whole thing's a joke anyway. It's exactly what I told him. And so there, I am smirking in the picture. I did not smile, but I was smirking. So, but, uh, but yeah. So if somebody looks me up, that's what you see. But just so you all know, if you see, on there what I'm charged with and all that type of nonsense, it was all dismissed. And here's the best part. Here's the best part, right? Do you think that there was a retraction? Do you think that the news channels that reported on what my charges were, or Facebook that reported on what my charges were and put me out there under the spotlight and all that type of stuff, right? Do you think that they ever came back and said, oh, just so we know, just so you all know, all charges were dropped against this individual. It was all dismissed. You think they did that? Of course not. But I look at it like this. I look at it like this. All this does, realistically, it just enhances my reputation. Because anybody that knows me knows that I love animals, knows that I love animals. And if I would put a dog down and I love animals, what do you think I'll do to people that I don't like when the time comes? What do you think I'll do then? So, Tony says, I'm retired from the Georgia State Patrol in early 1999. Things sure have changed. Yeah, unfortunately, they have. Unfortunately, they have. But, you know, it's unfortunate. A lot of good cops have retired and gotten out of it. Uh, you know, it's, a lot of good cops have said, I've had enough, don't want to do it anymore. A friend of mine that is a police officer, he's counting down the days. He's got like less than 4 years and he can retire and he can't wait. So, I mean, like I said, there are good cops out there, a lot more good cops than there are bad cops. Now, I will tell you this from personal experience, from what I have seen, a lot of times what be careful, Ed Big Brother's always listening. Well, that's fine. But, like I said, I'm not out there committing crimes. So, but, like I said, I'm old school. We grew up on a farm. You take care of your own business. You know, that's just the way it goes. And that's what we did. So, it is what it is. Like I said, it's all water under the bridge now. Don't make a difference anyway. Very, very stressful period of time. I will tell you that when that whole situation happened, very stressful. Um, I know somebody else right now who's going through something not similar to that, but going through nonsense that shouldn't be happening to that person. And I'm not going to mention names. I'm not going to say who it was, but that part doesn't make any difference. But you know, they're always looking for whatever reason, and I don't get this. Okay, they're always looking to jam people up. So my best advice to anybody: don't talk to them. Period. Even if whatever crap they feed you, just don't talk to them. Say, I have nothing to say to you unless I have a lawyer present. Period. End of story. And then if they continue to press, you say, what did I just say? I said, I have nothing to say to you. You're doing an investigation. Great. You know, actually, no, I did not. I did not. They never gave it back to me. So I will tell you this. So I'll tell you what happened with this situation. I would like you all to explain this to me. Okay. So I went to go get my 22 back, and he says, "Oh no, we can't give it back to you. It's you're flagged on the thing." And I'm thinking, I'm flagged. I'm flagged for what, right? So then I moved to West Virginia, and I went and bought a 45, right? Did all the paperwork, did everything that I had to do, and lo and behold, guess what? I got it back, or I got it, and I didn't get the 22 back, but yeah, I got it. So explain to me, what am I flagged for then? What It's just an excuse. New York State sucks when it comes to gun laws. Period. I will say that. I lived in New York for a very, very long time, and so there you go. You know, New York State sucks when it comes to gun laws. The weather sucks. The taxes suck. It's some beautiful country up there. There are some great people up there, and I'm not going to lie. Once you get away from the cities, um, they flagged me locally. I don't, you know what, Scan Family, I have no idea what they did. It was just, no, there's no different states, different rules. If you have to go federally when you're trying to buy a pistol. You have to. It's a federal thing. They put you through the federal database. Yeah, he probably wanted the 22 for himself, exactly, or that, or he gave it to his kid. Yeah, like I said, I'll tell you exactly what I told him at the time when he said no, they're not going to give it back to you. I said, you know what? I said, go ahead and keep it. I said, I'll have another 22 next week anyway. And guess what? I sure did. So you know what? They're all full of crap. They're full of crap. And it's a game. It's all it is. It's a game. So you know, I like I said again, and I will tell you, and I just any this is the biggest advice that I can give you guys. Okay, don't talk to the police if they're trying. Well, we're just trying to clear this up. We're investigating this. I have nothing to say. I didn't see nothing. I don't know nothing. I'm not saying anything to you. If you're going to arrest me, and I will talk to a lawyer. I want to see my lawyer. Period. End of story. Because anything, remember when they read you your Miranda rights, anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Think about that. Think about that. So there you go. I got pulled and said, I don't know if it makes a big difference. It was a driving issue. Do it for everything. Exactly. Yeah. Do you know why I pulled you over? Nope. I have no idea. Simple. I mean, I've had cops straight up lie. I was behind a cop. I've told this story before. Okay. Um, and like I said, I've had good interactions with police officers too. So I'm not like saying, oh, they all suck and they're all this and that. I was going to work. I'm in my nursing uniform. I had my ID on, right? And when you're driving, what's the cop seeing? He sees your head in the rear view mirror. Well, I got a shaved head. I have a goatee. I wear earrings, right? So that's what he sees in his rear view mirror. I was behind him for like 6, 7 miles, and excuse me, we got to this little town, and he pulled over. I'm like, okay, whatever. And I started continuing to go on, and he pulled out and he pulled me over, and he tried to tell me that I had my high beams on. And I said, I absolutely did not have my high beams on. He goes, well, I'm not going to argue with you. I said, if you want to go out front and look at my things, I'll show you what my high beams look like. He goes, no, I know you had your high beams on. I said, no, I didn't. I said, I know darn well I didn't. I said, you think I would drive behind you with my high beams on? I said, you think I'm a moron? you know. And so they took my license and registration, right? He goes back to his car, and I thought for sure this idiot was going to give me a ticket for this. I was pissed. And he comes back and he said, of course he ran me. And guess what? Oh my God, there's nothing, right? No warrants, nothing like that. No points on my license, nothing. That's why I have a dash cam in every car I own. Awesome. That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, real good point. But so he came back and he says, "Well, I have another call that I have to take, so I'm not gonna issue you a ticket." Um, you know, he goes, and I'm like, "Well, sir, I did not have." He goes, "I'm not gonna argue with you," and I'm like, "Whatever," and he went away, and I'm like, "What an a-hole!" He was an a-hole. He was. So what you have to understand, a lot of times they're making an excuse to pull you over to try to jam you up. And so once he saw me in uniform wearing my ID saying that I'm an LPN, then all of a sudden, they realize, oh, well, this guy's not out here causing trouble. He's not, he's just guy. He goes, I'm going to work, you know. So yeah, but again, just watch yourself, be careful, cover yourselves. They are not your friends when you are getting pulled over. If they're investigating something, they are not your friend. Remember that. That's all I'm going to tell you. And I learned a lesson, and I will tell you this right now, I will never talk to them again. I will never do another support the blue ride ever again. I'm done because of that situation. That left a really sour taste in my mouth, and that's just the way it is. But again, and saying that, I know police officers. I know some really decent cops. You know what I mean? Cops usually take it easy on nurses. A lot of times they do. A lot of times they do because they know where we're helping people. And it's a liberal media that vilifies anyone who gets arrested. Oh yeah, I mean the way that they twisted it around on mine. You got to remember, guys. I put down our own animal on my own property, and I did it because she was aggressive. She had bit my sister, Margie, the week before, and it was just a bad situation. And so my sister had asked me if I would put her down, and I didn't want to. I'm going to tell you that right now. I did not want to do it. I don't like doing it. Ed, would you let cops into your group? Yes, I would. I would. Yes, I would. So, um, you know, like I said, again, not all of them are bad. So, land of the not so free. Exactly. Exactly. Like I said, you know what? I'm not out causing trouble. I'm not trying to do nothing, you know. So, like I said, you just have to cover yourself because, you can get jammed up in a situation just like I did. I had to go down to the police station, get, booked in, fingerprinted, you know, picture taken, all that, and they walked me out the door with an appearance ticket. I mean, it was a crock of crap. And the worst part was they called me, and said, "Yeah, you have to come down and turn yourself in." I'm like, "Okay." So I'm sitting in my truck, or I was thinking I still had my car at the time. Yeah, I still had my car. I I left my I always carry a Swiss Army knife. I left that in the car. I left my lighter in the car because I know I'm not going to have that on me when I'm, and then are you bringing anything into I said, dude, I brought myself in here. You know what I mean? So I go to you guys will love this one. And I'll explain. We're going to get into the topic, I promise, in a second. So I go to the police station, call me up, tell me, I will tell you, I'll tell you the gist of how it happened. So at the time it happened, they didn't charge me with anything. They did take the gun because there was a whole game with that whole thing. And so they called me a couple days later and said, "Yep, they're pressing charges, right?" And if you look me up, you'll see what those were and all that good stuff. And the charges basically you're doing something maliciously with intent to be harmful and blah blah blah, which again did not fit this at all. And so that's one of the reasons why they never prosecuted it in anything. But anyway, um, so they called me up, and Becky and I were actually out for a ride, and we had stopped somewhere, and the lady calls me up, and she said, this is Sheriff so and so. They've decided to press charges. You need to, you need to come into the jail, so you can be processed. And I said to her, I go, "Are you effing kidding me?" That's exactly what I said. And she goes, "No, sir, I'm not." I go, and I'm like, "This is," and I was flipping out. I was flipping. I go, "This is such BS." I mean, I was just really unhappy. So, you know, so I had to go down to the county seat, turn myself in. So I go to the police station. I tell them, I said, "Yeah, I'm here. I got to be processed." So the sheriff chick comes out. She goes, "Well, come on outside." So I go outside. She goes, "I got to put you in handcuffs and I got to take you around back." I'm like, "Are you serious?" I mean, it was ludicrous. So here I am. I have to get now again, I turned myself in. I went in so they could process me. They put me in handcuffs, put me in the back of the car, drive me around the back side of the building, and then I have to go through the whole nonsense and all these, these it was funny because the one kid was big. One kid was probably 6'3", 6'4", probably 300 pounds. The other two cops were, maybe 5'4", 5'5", they, with that I'm a sheriff attitude. I'm like, whatever, So I had to go through all that nonsense. And then so they do the whole processing thing. And they're basically then they are walking me out to the front of the thing. And so you'll love this one too. You'll love this one. So I'm I'm don't have handcuffs on. I don't have any of that stuff. After they took them all off, and he's walking me out. So he says, "Well, you got to stay within the box, right?" So they got this like box that you got to walk in. I'm like, whatever. So I'm walking there. So they open up the elevator, and they got to go up one flight, in the elevator. So we get into the elevator, and he goes, "Oh, oh, you got to face the wall." I go, Are you serious? I'm not like a 21-year-old punk kid. I was in my 50s, you know, and so he's like, yes. And I'm like, okay. So face the wall, get up. I'm just like, I'm thinking to myself in my head, just go through this BS. You're gonna be out of here in a second. Let's go, and that's what it was. So it's just, but having to go through that crap. And then when I went and made my trip to Sturgis that year, that's weighing on my mind the whole time because I was, now I had gone to court once. They delayed it. I go to court the second time, and they like, we're not offering a deal, and I'm like, I'm flipping out. And then I get a call from an assistant district attorney, or not, no, not district attorney, the what is it? Because I had called a regular lawyer, a real lawyer, not the court appointed one, but one of the court appointed ones called me up and said, "Well, this is what they're doing. They're sending it to the grand jury because they want it to go away." So that's what they're going to do. Because so Becky and Margie both had to go to the grand jury. That's so and the DA sat down with Becky and he talked to her, and Becky said, he goes, "Where did you?" "Well, we grew up on a farm." "And who took care of the animals?" And she goes, "The men." She goes, "That's why I asked my brother to take care of it, because he is the man in our life." And so it's nonsense. It's nonsense. And it was a complete waste of time. I had 4 cops at my house, and I said to them that particular day, I said, and I'll tell you what else I said to them too. And I'm going to tell you this whole story because it's like, it don't matter no more anyway. It's all gone. Don't make a difference. So the day that it happened, the cop was like, "Well, we want you to, give us the 22." And I'm like, "Why?" "All over a dog." "Yep, our dog, not a neighbor's dog, nobody else's dog. I put our own dog down with nobody around. Nobody saw me do it. I did it alone. Becky didn't want to be there when I put the dog down, so she wasn't there." All right. So, and I did it humanely because, like I said, I don't do that kind of crap. I get zero pleasure out of putting an animal down. I've done it in the past. If I had to do it in the future, you're probably not going to hear about it on YouTube. I will tell you that right now because I'm not dealing with this crap again. All right. But anyway, um, so they're like, "Well, we want you to give us the 22." And I'm like, "Why? You're not charging me with anything. I'm not giving you my gun." And this is what the cop had said to me. All right. Guy's probably my age. He was a sergeant. He says, "Well, if you don't give up the gun voluntarily, we will get a warrant and we will go in and we will take every gun you have and every round of ammunition that you have in this house." And I knew what that meant because I've dealt with that before, and you never get it back. You never get it back. They'll keep every round of ammunition that they can find and all that stuff. I've dealt with that before. Okay. I'm like, "All right, you want the gun?" I said, "I'll give you the gun." And so I got 4 sheriffs sitting there, right? And the one sheriff, that particular sheriff said, "Well, hold on." He says, "One of these guys got to go with you." And I will tell you what I said to him, and he didn't like it. I turned around, I looked him right in the eye, and I said, "If I was going to shoot you," I said, "it would have already happened." That's exactly what I said to him. I said, so gave him the 22, and of course, I knew I was probably never getting it back because that's part of the game that's played. It's just like the whole red flag things, the whole nonsense that they do to people. Same type of situation. You're not getting that crap back, and if you do, it's going to cost you a fortune to get it. So, anyway, that's all done. Water under the bridge. All charges dismissed. Imagine that. So the trolls that tried to cause me to have problems in the first place, it's all done. So I'm gonna say something. This is directed at my trolls that were the ones that called the cops in the first place. Okay, I'm gonna use a great saying by Angry Prepper. So if you don't want to hear this, plug your ears for a second. This goes out to my trolls. Eat a dick. Okay, there you go. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. All right. So sorry, you guys. I'm on a soapbox. Sorry, just got me going. And I did steal that from Angry Prepper, so I will give him props because I've heard him say that before. All right, now, oh my goodness gracious. Sorry. All right, so here we are, 30 minutes into the stream. Angry Ed, exactly. Oh my God, that's too funny. No, that whole situation really pissed me off. You know, it really, really pissed me off. So another reason why I'm more than happy to be out of New York State, and you know, so okay. So who survives? Who survives after S.H.T.F? So we're going to talk about this now. Now that you guys got me all worked up, we got 427 in the chat. We're at 160 thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel. And thank you very much for doing so ahead of time. And I normally don't use that kind of language, folks. So if anybody's new, that is not a norm for me, and I apologize. Now, I will tell you this: if you come out and you're hanging out around the camper, part of my group will tell you, drunken sailor, but I try not to do it. No, I did not get it back. They didn't. They never gave it back. They came up with some BS excuse why I couldn't have it back. But anyway, but any so gosh, lost my train of thought. So who survives after an S.H.T.F event? Uh, we'll talk about what will be advantages. Obviously, being better prepared than I've I've never heard you cuss ever, Ed. Well, I'll tell you what. Ask some of the guys in my group that are in the chat. They'll tell you. And I've always been honest. I've always been honest. I do swear in real life. I will always admit that. The only difference between me and between YouTube and real life, I just made it a point that I didn't want to swear on video. I always thought I could get my point across without, dropping the F bombs and all that type of stuff. So that was a conscious decision I made because I wanted to be able to, have kids be able to sit there with grandma and grandpa and listen to my streams, and they don't have to worry that I'm going to be, using all kinds of foul language. So that's kind of why I made that decision. But in real life, yes, I do swear. So, oh, I gotta give you, hold on a second. Hold on. Let me pull a book because I just see Ron's here now. And I haven't shown this yet. We're going to be doing a giveaway with the egg count. So hold on a second. Let me see that here. Okay, there we go. This one. All right. I'm trying to use different books. Okay, so what we're going to be doing, we're going to be giving this today is going to be given away when we do the egg count. And so A Pox is Upon Us by Ron Foster. So we're going to be doing that giveaway to the winner who guesses correctly with the egg count. Okay, so we're just going to put that there for the moment. And so we're going to go from there. But all right, so who survives? Let's talk about this a little bit. People that are more prepared are going to have an advantage, obviously. That's a no-brainer. That is an absolutely no-brainer that you're going to have an advantage. Does that mean you're going to survive? Does not mean you're going to survive. People are still going to get sick. People are still going to have medical issues. JJ, would you throw the link up for Ron's website so that people can go check out his other books if they're interested in grabbing some of his books there as well, please? And thank you for doing that. Um, People are still going to get sick. They're going to get hurt. Things are going to happen. But with being better prepared, it's going to definitely give you an advantage. I will tell you right now, people that are unprepared completely, will some of them make it? There's the link for anybody that's interested to check out Ron Foster's stuff for his books. He's got quite a few books there, so definitely check them out. Um, you know, some people out there that have done zero preparedness ahead of time, they're going to survive. And the main reason that a lot of people will survive is strictly tenacity, using their head, being smart about what they're doing, keeping their head down, not, putting themselves out there and, here I am in this type of stuff. They're going to be keeping a low profile. They're going to, you know, have some basic skills. So, somebody that has skills where they know how to, you know, survive in the woods if they had to. If you have zero skills on what to do and how to survive in the forest, you have a 0% chance of making it. None. Because if you don't know what you're doing, the woods will eat you up in a heartbeat. They'll eat you up in a heartbeat. Because the first couple times you start sleeping on the ground without some kind of padding underneath you, and when I say padding, pine boughs, putting pine boughs down, the earth's temperature is colder than our body, so it will suck the heat out of your body. You can get hypothermia in the summertime. Okay, you can get hypothermia in the summertime. People don't realize that, but that absolutely can happen. So you got to think about if you're out in those woods, either sleeping on an elevated platform, depending on what kind of critters are out there too, or you put those pine boughs down so you have some kind of an insulation between you and the ground. That's just one simple thing. One simple. If you don't know how to make a fire, if you've never made a fire, Heather was doing me proud the other day. She was talking, we were talking, and Dad, I get the fire going now just on a couple of hot coals. And I'm like, that's my girl, because that's part of the game. That was always part of the game. If I have one coal as big as my pinky finger nail, just the nail, I can get a fire going. I do it all the time. It's a lot of fun. To me, it's a challenge. And so the more that you can do those type of things, it's going to put you in a better position. So, but that's having those basic skills are going to definitely help you out. All right, knowing how to make a shelter, what to do, where to go, where to find water when there's water not available, and all those type of things. There's so many things that go with it. Um, I've talked about numerous times. Knowledge is power. Having books, right, and knowing what to do, that is a great way to figure things out. And practical practice is another thing. So, knowing what to do, how to do it, but going, hey, you know what? I've done this, I've done that. I have an idea in my head what I want to do. And so, you go from there. But if you've never done anything, if you've never spent any time in the woods, I would not advise you to tromp off into the woods, because again, your chances of making it are not great. A mechanical injury. I mean, I don't care. You could be the best skilled person in the world. If you twist a knee, an ankle, you break a leg, or a hip, or something like that, you're in deep trouble. You're in deep, deep trouble. You know. Tell us a creepy wood story. Uh, I had one time. The only thing I can really think of that, as far as a creepy woods story type of thing, like I go out here all the time, middle of the night, walk around, do what I got to do, right? Did the same thing in New York. There was one time in New York, one time that I had gone outside, and I, being in the country, if I got to pee, I go outside and I just pee outside. All right, that's what I do because I'm a country boy, and that's what we do. So I was out there in a leak, and I swear to you, the hairs on the back of my neck stood up. And I knew instantly I was not the apex predator that was out there. There was something out there that was either watching me or that it was nearby, that I needed to get my behind back in that house to safety, and that's exactly what I did. Talk about your chainsaw incident. Before I had chaps, yeah, that was not a good one. Yeah, and and I got lucky, and I got real lucky with that. But that's how you learn. If you see me now and I'm cutting wood, I got chaps on always. So, and I was ice fishing and got a little frostbite. It hurts. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, and I want you guys to think about those type of things. Um, what do I think it was? Well, in New York, I don't think it was a bear because I only have black bears up there, and black bears are not really aggressive. They're more afraid of you than you are of them. I believe it was probably a big cat, either a cougar or a mountain lion, something like that. They are up in that area. They will tell you they're not. But I saw in the valley the one year, way many years ago, Heather and I saw. We saw a black panther going through the lower valley and open field, and this big old cat, he was going. And so I know there's big cats up in that area. So that so I that's what I probably believe that it was. But it's just that you got that feeling, and I'm like, it's time to get back in the house. So but anyway, people that have marginal training are going to be much more apt to survive than somebody that has none. If you have no idea what you're doing, and then think about this: we live in a society that we're not really tested. If you think about it, right? You have the police protecting you. You can run away or whatever the case may be. In a post event, when there is no rule of law, you are going to have apex predators out there on 2 feet that are going to. Ed was the cougar 5 feet 120 blonde hair and blue eye. I wish she was. I like that though. It's but you know those are the things those people out there that are not good people. And I've said this before, in a true SHTF situation, good people will do bad things to survive. That's a fact. I'm not speculating. I'm thinking maybe it might, maybe it won't. Good people will do bad things to survive. Bad people will do evil things, because when there is no rule of law and there's nobody there to stop them from their base animal instincts of what they want to do, well, then they're going to just go ahead and do whatever they want until they're put down. And, and I got the spidey sense too. Yeah, I'm going to tell you what, I've been in situations where I was someplace I probably shouldn't have been, and again, your gut is telling you it's either that fight or flight. It's that fight or flight, and you got to make that decision. Do I get out of Dodge, or do I go ahead and initiate? And believe me, folks, if you have that feeling, and I will tell you, I go with my gut all the time. If you feel as though somebody is going to hurt you, if you get that gut feeling, this person is absolutely going to hurt me, you hurt them first. Hurt them first, because it's another advantage that you're going to have. I was never had a problem with throwing the first punch, because if and my rule of thumb was this: run your mouth all day long, that's fine. If you put your hands on me, it's on. Don't push me and think that that's going to go, because if you push me, I'm punching you. That's just always kind of been my rule of thumb too. So, uh, oh, I need to do a video talking about chakras and such. Very interesting stuff. Yeah, you know what, I I do a lot of energy work. Um, I've always done a lot of energy work, and that's we have you have chakras in your hands, right? You have it in your forehead, you have it in your throat, you have it in your heart or your center of your chest, and you have it in your stomach, and you have one in your groin. Those are your chakras. If you know how to do energy work, you can release negative energy and bring in positive energy into your body. That has nothing to do with religion. It's just we all have that innate ability, but people don't realize that. So, but yeah, there's definitely things you can do. I've done energy work with people and showed them, how to do different stuff, and they feel that energy. It freaks people out. It's actually pretty cool. So, I've done that quite a few times. It's a lot of fun, actually. It's always better if you do it with somebody who's open. And when I say open, I mean open minded, not all closed in and this is evil and that's evil. And, you know, yeah, a lot of negative energy floating around. That's for sure. That is for sure. And then you have people wishing you bad and evil. And my thing is this: when it comes to that type of stuff, if you do if you put negative stuff on somebody, it will come back to you times three, and that's just how it works. So I try to stay positive, help people if I can, and those type of stuff. It's actually it's really neat. If you believe it or don't believe it, that's you know what, that's fine. Don't make one bit of difference to me whatsoever. If you believe in it or not, I know it works. I know it's true. I've done it, and I've done it for a long time. So, but anyway, so hey Sam, how you doing tonight? Hey Prepper Zipper One, I like that. That's funny. So anyway, guys, we're gonna go ahead. And not till I say. So don't do nothing till I say. Uh, yeah, I choose to repel negative energy too. I don't want negative energy in my life. If I'm around negative people, I get away from negative people. I don't like that. I don't have the time or the energy to waste on that. I'm not going to. All right, we're going to be giving this away tonight. This is A Pox Upon Us by Ron Foster. When I tell you when, we will do, I will see. Cindy, you're doing it too early. Have I said do it yet? No, so yours doesn't count. Nothing counts until I say so. So guys, stop guessing until I say. But this is a book we're going to give away. If you guess and get the right egg count and you win, then I would like you to make sure you shoot me an email at preppernurse1@yahoo.com, and I will get this book out to you. All right. So, how many eggs and yes or no for thick neck today? So I'll give you guys your guesses. Go now. All right. So, also, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, guys, I'm going to ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. And I appreciate that. It really does make a big difference with the algorithms as well. So, thank you for that reason as well. And also, um, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. All right. So I'll give you guys a moment more to get your guesses in, and then I will tell you who the winner is. And tonight we have another first time winner, Cindy Y. If you had the same exact guess as Cindy Y with 0 eggs, then you are 100% correct. Yesterday, it would have been good. We had 3 eggs yesterday. Becky told me there was 3 yesterday, no eggs today. So if you had if you had the same exact guess as Cindy Y, then you are correct. Cindy, make sure you shoot me an email, preppernurse1@yahoo.com. Give me your address, and I will, get that out to you. Hakeem said, I'm always sending out positive energy to you, Ed. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Energy work is real. And like I said, life is so short, and I learned a long time ago, I don't have time for hate. I'm not going to waste time hating anybody. If I don't like somebody or if I don't care for somebody, I just don't have anything to do with them. I don't have anything to do with them because to me it's a waste of energy. There's too many positive things that we can do out there, too many good things that we can accomplish to deal with that negativity. And so to me, it's like I said again, I don't have time for it. I don't hate anybody. I really, truly do not hate anybody. I wish everybody would be, you know, Al Sharpton. Okay, so I hear some people were talking about Al Sharpton. Remember when Al Sharpton was fat? Remember that, guys? I mean, Al Sharpton was fat. Now he's skinny and scrawny. So he actually looks sick, is what he looks like now. But I got 8 chickens and I'm in Wyoming and this is my first time raising chickens. How the heck did you get my how the heck did I get my first egg today and have more than you? Okay, so here's the other thing. We're going to talk about this a second too. Let's talk about chickens in the feed. Now, I have heard this from multiple sources, okay? Many people are talking about this. They're saying, and I'm not confirming, I'm not denying this, I'm just sharing information. Let me put that out there ahead of time. they're saying that the feed that is you get from Tractor Supply for chickens has changed, and a lot of chickens are not laying eggs because of that. All right, and so um, we I've been feeding my chickens Tractor Supply chicken feed for a long time, and I can say that in the last 6 months we have definitely had a decrease in egg production. So what Becky did, she's doing a lot of research on it. She has switched the chickens to goat feed, which is primarily oatmeal and corn. All right, and so she's taken them off of. Yep. So somebody else is saying the same thing. Goat feed. Yep. And they'll start laying again. And so it may take a couple of weeks, and they should start laying again. And is the feed tainted from Tractor Supply? JJ, I don't know. I have no idea. Alls I know from my own flock up in New York, in the last 6 months, their production has gone to crap. You guys know that. I mean, from what I've shared. So uh, switching them over to goat feed is definitely going to make a difference. Supposedly, it's supposed to make a big difference. And or you get your feed, go for a more organic feed for your chickens. That would be my thing. What I had Becky doing as well with the wintertime, also giving the chickens hot oatmeal, cooking up oatmeal to put it down there. They chow it down, nice warm oatmeal, and that actually helps them as well. Is that feed more expensive? I think so, Asif. If you go with a more natural feed, it's going to be more expensive. But if you are, if you're looking for egg production and you want to make sure you're keeping your eggs, it's worth it to do the extra for your birds. And I think that is good. I know, like I said, I plan on getting birds again down here. I'm going to have to build a coop, obviously, and that'll be something that's going to get worked on probably in the spring. That would be the time to get, the feed, or not the feed, to get the chickens. And so, it will work for now until they find out that everyone has switched to goat feed. Right, right, Raven. And again, you can go with actually where I go, and I get my propane tanks filled. All right, the kid that they also sell all kinds of feed. Talking to them today about this very topic, same type of thing, and they were the same things, and they sell more a better, more organic feed for the birds. So you know it's you know obviously we're having an issue with eggs right now, right? The egg prices have gone absolutely crazy, and so it's unreal what is happening, unreal what's happening. But it's just that is an interesting thing, though. I thought, I'm like, why would they do anything, to be honest with you? Why have they jammed up the price of beef so high that you can't afford to buy beef? Imagine, isn't that interesting how that works? Hmm, it's interesting. And their thing is to get you off of beef, you know. So 4.89 for a dozen eggs here. D Sawtell says, yeah, I know. Down here, I think it's about 4.50 for a dozen eggs, which is just that's like ridiculous to me, you know. But Becky was saying she plans on getting more birds, fresh blood. We didn't get any new chickens last year, so the birds, the youngest ones now are like 2 years old. So it's definitely, you need to have new blood in your coop, and hopefully, if you get a broody chicken, they will take care of it for you. You don't have to do anything, but you obviously have to have a rooster. Roosters are definitely good to have in your flock. So yeah, I'm not eating roaches. Me neither. No desire for that. It's funny. If you give me a choice between steak and chicken, I'm going to take chicken all day long. I love chicken. So I would rather eat chicken. So super late. We'll have to watch the replay. Oh, okay. Well, it's all right. You're here now, and go back and watch the rest of it later. That's cool. So what do you got? 422 in the chat. Again, we're at 265 on a thumbs up, guys. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to do that to show support for the channel. Again, and thank you ahead of time. I do appreciate that. Have you upgraded the hen house? Up in New York, the hen house up in New York is fine. Nothing wrong with the hen house in New York. Nothing wrong with it up there. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to have to get something built down here that we're going to utilize. I probably should build myself a place first. Uh, yeah, I'll eat bugs after chicken turns them to meat. Yeah, exactly, Ace. Hey, Prep Rebel, Ed, I've missed your lives. I'm glad you're back. Glad to have you back in the chat. But anyway, guys, again, who survives? Having skill sets is going to give you an advantage. But the biggest people that are going to survive in a true S.H.T.F event are people with a strong mental fortitude that don't give up, that don't quit, that are, that that don't give up, survivable attitude. Again, if you're prepared and you have food and you have a way to protect what you have and you have a way to produce fresh water, all those things are going to be a huge advantage for you. That is an absolute fact. Okay, that's a fact. But at the same time, hey Patty, thank you very much for the donation. I do appreciate that. Thank you very much. Um, you know, giving yourself an edge is, and I can't ever say it enough. Put yourself in a situation where you are better. If you go to Vegas, and if I said to you, okay, listen, if you do this when you go to Vegas, your chances of winning are 93%. Tell me you're not going to take advantage of that, right? Tell me you're not going to take advantage of that. Of course you would, because you want to win, right? What do you think prepping is? What do you think what we're doing is? Because we want to win. I want to be around. I want to survive. And so that's why I prep. That's why I want my children to survive. And so, it's all about the odds. If you look at the odds, 93% of people are not prepared for a 2 week disaster. We've said this over and over and over again. 93%. That is a majority of the people. For those of you that don't know math, that is a majority of the people. That is a lot of victims out there. Some of them will survive, most of them will not. The 7% that is, that's going to be in the spring. That he's asked me when the Harley's moving to West Virginia. That's going to be in the spring. I want that down here in the spring. So yes, I do want my Harley down here. Hey, Troy. Do what you have to do to survive, even if you don't like it. Exactly. Thank you very much for the statement, and thank you very much for the donation as well. And that's exactly what it comes down to. You're going to do what you have to do to survive. Everybody's going to do what they have to do to survive. But my big thing is, and I try to reiterate this all the time, putting ourselves in a situation so it's not so horrible is better. To be surrounding yourself with people that are going to have your back so that when you go to sleep, you don't have to worry about being overrun. You don't have to do all those chores by yourself, all the things that are going to need to be done to survive. The bigger your group, the more people that you have, many hands make light work. How many of you have heard that saying, right? I've been hearing that since I was a kid. Many hands make light work. So the more people that you're putting together, when you have a project, it just makes it go that much easier. It makes it go that much better. So, you know, and don't quit. Don't quit. Don't give up. Don't become despondent and poor me. Oh my God, this is horrible. I can't do this. That's not the right attitude. Because if you think that you can't do this, you're not going to do it. Uh, when we moved off grid up in New York and I moved to the homestead in New York, I could not tell you the number of people on here on YouTube that told me, oh, no way, you're not going to be able to do it. You're not going to be able to make it. It's not going to be, you're not going to, you need to go. Yeah, you need to. I love that. You need to go get an apartment until you got yourself more squared away. That's what you have. No, absolutely not. I wasn't doing it. When I moved to that homestead, and as soon as we moved, the day before we moved, I found out I had cancer. So I had a little bit of a road bump, a speed bump in the road that I had to deal with right when we moved off grid. I had my surgery. We moved in June. I had my surgery in July. This year, knock on Formica here, will be 8 years. Okay. I had cancer at 50 years old, so it'll be 8 years. And so, I had to deal with that, but that wasn't going to stop me from being successful in what I want to do. Now, it definitely changed my plans, and that's why we ended up having the lofted barn brought in and doing it that way, because I was going to build something else up around the camper. That was the original plan. That wasn't able to happen that way. It was not able to happen because of the whole situation. So, again, you have to adapt, overcome. You got to be flexible, and that's important. If you want to survive in an SHTF event, you got to be adaptable. Situation comes up, things don't go the way that you want them to go. Be flexible. Be ready to do what you got to do to get to a winning situation. Doesn't matter how many times you fall down; it's how many times you get back up on your feet. That's a great statement, Asif. I like that. That's a great, great statement, and that's very, very true. Uh, you know, Ed, did you smoke at the time you had cancer? No, Hazel. I quit smoking when I was 16. I smoked from 12 until I was 16. I smoked then, and nope. So I was not an adult smoker in any way, shape, or form. What I had is I had a very rare form of skin cancer, and it wasn't because of laying out in the sun. Like you get so much sun and you don't use sunscreen. It had nothing to do with anything like that. It was a deep tissue cancer. It's a rare form of cancer that affects 1 in a million people. 1 in a million, right? That's me. That's Prepper Nurse One in a million. And I said, why can't I win the lottery? I mean, I wonder what those odds would be to survive the kind of cancer that I had and then win the lottery. When you figure that a grand total, we got 330 million people in the United States. So every year, 330 people get the kind of cancer that I had. Those are pretty long odds. Those are some pretty long odds. But my cancer doc told me at the time, if you had to pick a cancer, she goes, you pick the right one. Uh, no, it was a deep tissue cancer, and that just it's a mouthful of a name. I couldn't even tell you what it is anymore. But 98% cure rate, which is great, right? Especially when it's caught early. And also, it is only 5% of people does it metastasize, which means it comes back in another part of the body. So once they took it out, I did not have. Yeah, I am 1 in a million. Thank you, Hazel. I appreciate that. Once they took it out, I didn't have to do radiation. I did not have to do chemo. They felt like they got it all. Anybody that's watched my videos and you see that pretty scar on my back, looks like Zorro got me twice. That's where I had it. This type of cancer presents on your trunk, either your back or your front, and so that's how it went. But when I knew something wasn't right, and with my family history of cancer, I got to the doctors and got it taken care of. And so the way I discovered it, I had a lump on my back, and at first I thought it was a zit because I have adult cystic acne, and so I'm like squeezing it, and no zit is coming out, and so it kept getting bigger, and because it was getting bigger, I went to the doctors, and they thought it was a sebaceous cyst, so they did a same day surgery. My first surgery was a same day surgery. I went in, they put me down. I was awake for that surgery. Numbed up my back, shot me up. That was the worst part of it, to be honest with you. The anesthesia for your back numbed it up, and they took out an egg size mass out of my back. I saw it, encapsulated egg size mass. He told me we're going to do the pathologies on it. Blah blah blah. I said okay. We're going to do shout outs here in just a second, guys. Said we're going to do the pathologies. We did the pathologies, and it came back 2 weeks later, the day before we were moving, and that's when I found out that I had cancer. And I will never forget. So that next day, I'm moving. I'm loading up U-Haul, and we're getting everything moved out. And so I had, friends and family calling me, and they were like, "Oh my God, how are you doing? Is everything okay?" And I'm like, "Hey, listen, um, I don't have time to think about it right now. I'm busy." It's scary. I'm not gonna lie. I was scared. like anybody would be in that situation. You don't know how those things are going to go out. You don't know if you're going to wake up from the anesthesia, and but so yeah, it happens, and luckily, I'm really happy that I survived, and I am still here, and I plan on being around for a long time. All right, let's do shout outs. First of all, we have Icky Can up in Canada. He's been adding animals up to his homestead up there. If you guys are watching, it's fun. He does little short videos, really, really cool stuff. So definitely go up and check out Icky Can. We have Angry Prepper down in New York City with Jason. Love Jason. He is awesome. And so love to have him move closer to me. And that would be great if he did, because he would be an asset in anybody's group. You have Alaska Prepper, which is Rudy, another really good guy, very, very down to earth. There's Alaska Granny. You have Sean James with the Sean James channel and My Self Reliance. Two different channels, same guy, really good information. Definitely check him out. You have Demcad, another good guy. Follows his own advice, got out of the city, got away from that area, and he's good to listen to, makes a lot of good points. You have Corporal's Corner. There's Bjorn Hansen. There is 80K Man up in the Adirondacks. You have Bizarriza Jizza, who is doing the Carrington Chronicles. Really good information as well, so definitely check him out as well. You have Marfugal News with Adam and Dax, really good guys. Definitely check them out, coming at you from Seattle on the West Coast. We have Magic Prepper in North Dakota. There is Wrangle Star with Cody, another good guy, another good channel. Red Poppy Ranch. There is Survival Lily. You have Kyle's Cabin up in Minnesota, nice young couple with Kyle and Sierra doing their thing up there. There is Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods, husband and wife team, two different channels, a lot of good information. Check them out as well. You have Green Greg's. Green Greg's is a really smart guy too. Gives a lot of good gardening advice. So definitely check that out as well. There's Southern Prepper One, who does the Boots on the Ground series. A lot of good information with him as well. There is Gray Man Prepping. You have St. Bernard Acres with Joe. There is Doug and Stacy. A lot of good information on their channel as well. So definitely check them out. The Nomadic Movement down in Panama. Nice young couple down there. They just had a baby. You have the Green Dream Project out in Arizona, showing you how to live in the desert. Really cool watching what they do out there. You have Camping with Steve Wallace out of Canada, doing his thing, doing stealth camping. A lot of fun to watch that as well. We have Bush Doctor Survival. There is Monkey Works, The Needy Homesteader. You have Boss of the Swamp, been around for a long time. A lot of good information there. Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. Really smart guy. Talks about the Grand Solar Minimum and everything else that is going on. Pay attention to what he's doing. He knows what he's talking about. You have Patera with the Appalachian Homestead. There is City Prepper, Lumina Acres, Suspicious Observer. You have Bear Independent, The Uneducated Economist. There is Bushcraft Bear in the Canary Islands of La Palma. You have Mary Greeley News, giving you all the latest with Yellowstone and all the earthquakes and everything that is going on that way. There is Adapt 2030. You have Malachi's Corner, Ice Age Farmer. If you're going to get your weather, you need to get your weather from Ryan Hall Y'all. He is the man. He is a good dude. Gives you all. He loves weather, and I think it's really good that we should support him. There is Russell Brand, who gives you the information and lets you make the decisions on what you think about it. I like that about him. It's really, really cool what he does. Deep South Homestead, The Outsider, The Fit Farmer. There is Prep Rebel, Simple Life Reclaimed. You have Townsend's, The Prepared Mind, somewhere in the South now. Keep getting conflicting reports on where he is, but he did get out of California. You have Pinball Preparedness down in Tennessee. There's East Tennessee Preparedness, The Economic Ninja, and Little House Off Gritty, who is also in Tennessee. So definitely check them out. I think we should be supporting each other. I think it's important that we do so. So really, really good things. Okay. So anyway, what are we at here? Almost time to do We Are Legion. Hey, Mario. Wow. We have the same story. They went thought a cyst, it was a cyst until they cut it out. It was a tissue instead of fluid. They thought they took it all, but had to do another final excursion a month later, as it grew right back. Wow, that's not good. No, my second surgery. Thank you very much for sharing that story, man. I appreciate that, and thank you very much for the donation. My second surgery, guys, that they knocked me out for that one because they gutted me like a fish, and I'll never forget it. I mean, I walked into the hospital. I drove myself to the hospital, and parked, came in, and I remember I'll never forget. I said, I feel fantastic because I did. I felt great. Once I took it out, I felt so much better. And then I'm going, I am going to walk out of this hospital like an old man. And I was in the hospital one day. I told them I'm leaving, and they did my surgery. I was scheduled to go in at 4. They didn't get me into 6. I woke up in recovery, I think at 10. And when I woke up, I told them, I said, I want some Tylenol or Advil. I said, I'd like some Advil, and I'm going to get up and I'm going to walk. I said, because I'm going home in the morning. And I did. It's exactly what I did. I thought I was out of my mind. But the sooner you're up and walking after a surgery, the better off you're going to be. It really is. So you got to get up and get moving. And so I went home the next day, and I definitely suffered. Definitely not fun. Not a fun recovery. Uh, I will never have the strength that I had before. I can still handle my own. I can do okay, but I know part of it could be age. I guess that could be part of it as well. But I definitely don't have the strength that I did before. So, but that happens. All right, we are Legion because we are many. We are all over the world. We're all over the country. Where is everybody from tonight? Let's do that. There is Philip from Melbourne, Australia in the house. Good evening, Philip. We have Franklin County, Ohio, Dayton, Ohio with Rhonda, New Mexico with Nate, Montreal, Quebec, Canada with Daniel, Waterloo, New York with Sharon, Inverness, Florida with Clyde in the house, BC, Canada with Emil, Southwest Wyoming with Mary. We have Freehawk in Pennsylvania, Hamilton, Ohio, Union City, Pennsylvania, Vermont, Connecticut with Awesome Sauce, Mississauga, Ontario, Canada with Joyce in the house, Missouri and the Ozarks with Delbert. We have Lakeland, Florida, cold northern Michigan with Jason, Greenlee County, Arizona. We have the beautiful Pennsylvania Wilds, Bumstead, Florida with Nolan, Frederick Nolan, I'm sorry. Old Mud is in the house, and I know he's up in New York. St. Augustine, Florida, St. Petersburg, Florida. We have Cool, Georgia, Tucson, Arizona with Angela, Charlotte County, Florida with Gloria, Pennsyltucky Granny with Rebel. I like that. Pennsyltucky. Just north of Hot Springs, Arkansas. Richard in the house. We got Campbell, Missouri with Antonio. We have Syracuse, New York with the Village Homestead. Morning Light in West Virginia. We have Barbara near Somerset, Pennsylvania. Martinsville, Indiana. Prepper Zipper 1. Let's see. Your neighbor in Frederick, Maryland. Teresa's in the house. Rawlsburg, West Virginia. Janita. West Central, Iowa with Dale in the house. So again, we are all over the place. We are a huge network of people. We are a huge family. We're the ones that are ready. We're the ones that will continue to be ready. We have Freedom for Us, for the U.S. In Nebraska. Jen Boyles in Central Pennsylvania. But we're the ones, guys. I mean, we're awakened for a reason. We are awakened for a reason. And I think, like I said, if we got organized, it'd be scary what we could accomplish if we got organized. We got Carly in California. Very nice. Glad to have you here. Sharon from Perry County, Pennsylvania. let's see, we got Chicken Shoes from Utah, Sandusky Bay, Ohio, T-Star, Edgewater, Florida, with Judy in the house. Well, it's amazing when you see people from other countries all over the U.S. Cape Cod, Massachusetts, uh, Apache Junction, Arizona, with Shirley. We got Hakeem in the Georgia mountains, Arizona, but live in Utah. Young AR-15, very cool. Yep, Sandusky Bay, Ohio. So again, like I said, guys, we're all over the place. We're all over the country. We are the people that are awake. We are the ones that can make a difference now. We can make more of a difference afterwards. Derby, New Hampshire, very cool. So anyway, guys, we really are. We just gotta be ready to help people because they're gonna need it. We have Alberta's in the house, very nice, with Mindy. Hale, Michigan, with Joe West. But anyway, sorry for my rant earlier in this live stream. I got on my soapbox a little bit, but certain things irritate me. Um, you know, be careful tonight out there. If people are rioting and looting, please be careful. Stay away from that nonsense if you can. We have Springville, Utah, with Linda Moses in the house. Brenda from New Hampshire. You know, yeah, please be careful. You know, keep your head on a swivel. Pay attention to your surroundings. There will be people out there just looking to destroy stuff because they want to destroy stuff. It is unfortunate. So, that's why you got to be careful. How's Heather doing? Is she good? Yeah, Heather's great. Heather's doing very, very well. We got Ace from Central Iowa's in the house. Yeah, Heather. We talk every day. She loves what she's doing. She's enjoying her job. So we got Raven from Northern Wisconsin in the house. You like my rants? Well, certain things irritate the crap out of me. And like I said again, question out there: police officers, firemen, nurses, lawyers, you know, politicians. Even though they're skewed very badly, there's good and bad. There's good and bad, and there's always going to be. Uh, you know, And unfortunately, who makes the news? The bad cops make the news. And with what happened, which again is a horrible, horrible situation, you have to, you know, they all need to go to prison. No doubt about it. They all need to go to prison, and I hope that they do. So, can you repeat it? Ace, you'll have to go back and watch it again. You'll have to go back and watch it again. But anyway, guys, I want to thank my moderators who do an absolutely fantastic job keeping the chat clean. I do appreciate that. Ladies and gentlemen that moderate for me, you guys are awesome. And I appreciate you keeping these chats clean and we can have a good discussion and we don't have any issues. I appreciate all you guys being here. I really enjoy these. They're a lot of fun. Get me going on, get me on my soapbox and, we're off the rails. So that's kind of what happened a little bit early in the stream. And you know, I, uh, I have to say my piece, and I generally don't sugarcoat things. That's definitely what I do not do. So we were talking. We're talking. Me and Steve were talking about the quarterback from Green Bay, the Packers. There, oh God, I can't think of his name. But anyway, he went on and he was like, so sick and tired of, everybody is offended by everything. He's like, screw it. I don't care if you're offended. I think that that's awesome because that's the way I am too. If you're offended, that's a you problem. That is not a me problem. So my thing is, treat people with respect. Hopefully I get it back. Aaron Rodgers. Yes. Thank you. Yep. Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. He don't take no crap. And I like that. And he says it like it is. And I like that too. So, and supposedly the National Guard is at the Memphis airport just in case. Yeah, let's hope cooler heads prevail. Probably won't, unfortunately. I would just ask everybody, just if you can avoid being in those danger areas, please do that. Be safe. Watch your surroundings. Pay attention to what's going on. Okay. Remember, folks, we are all in this together. We are, and that's called the human race. If we could ever figure that one out, we truly will be in much, much better shape. We have to stop letting them divide us. That's what they like to do. They want to keep us fighting amongst each other because then we will never focus on the real problems, which is big business and the government. All right. Also, remember to hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really, really important that we tell the people that we care about every day how we feel. Last but not least, STD, step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you are trying to accomplish, whatever you are trying to do, if you work at it methodically, you can accomplish anything that you set your mind to. You set realistic goals and then you set about to making them happen. When you achieve that goal, you set a new goal. That's it. Okay. So somebody said, have a great weekend, go Bengals. I'm actually rooting for the Bengals and the 49ers. Um, even though they beat my Cowboys, I think that they're a really good team. And so we'll see how the weekend goes with that. But anyway, remember, guys, please be safe. Take care of your business. Watch your backs. Keep prepping. Keep getting ready. A lot of this crap is all distraction to keep us not focused on what we need to do. All right. So take care of what you need to do. Be safe doing it, though. All right. Have a great night. I will talk to you all later. Prepper Nurse One out for now.